Hey, what's going on, family? I hope you guys are enjoying the content, but I just want to let you know there's still time to apply for the scholarship for the ILF Mastery Blueprint, and that's our one-on-one coaching. So there's a lot that comes with it. So I'm just going to guide you guys to the website so that you can kind of check it out for yourself after we're done here. So you're going to visit forstonconsultants.com. Then you're going to click the tab that says Products and Services. The first thing that's going to pop up is the ILF Mastery Blueprint. Click that tab that says Learn More, and it's literally going to give you step-by-step instruction of what you can do, and it's real easy, of how you can apply and win the scholarship to apply to the price so that you can get our one-on-one coaching here at Forston Consultants. Let's get back to the content. Good morning, everybody. Good morning and welcome to the live broadcast. Don't wait to be great. I am your host, Mr. Derek Forston. And I'm super excited, just like every time I come on here. So good morning, you guys. What's going on? Good morning, Miss Teal. Good morning, everybody that's tuning in from all the different places that we're streaming as well. So Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and a bunch of other places. So we're super excited about that, and we appreciate it. She'll be joining us here in just a minute. But my name is Derek Forston. I'm the proud owner and operator of Second Chance Housing, just like you guys see on my shirt. Remember, I teach you guys to always be a walking billboard. So I am the thought leader of Second Chance Housing. But over the years, God has blessed me to actually put a virtual assistant in place who actually runs my entire program now. So I'm really proud of that. But I'm also the founder and thought leader of Forston Consultants, where me and my family go all over the world sharing the mission, the gospel, the good news of how do you start your own independent living facility, and how do you do that without a license? How do you do that without having to own the property, right? And now today, how do you do that maybe even from a mobile home park? So we're excited about the opportunity to be able to not only do this how we've always done it for the last 7-8 years out of a brick and mortar house, but we're excited now to be able to do this same model that we do out of mobile home parks now. So I got a lot of stuff going on. I got probably 3 hours of conversation in me today, but unfortunately, I can probably only be here for about an hour. I actually have a move-in today, and I'm doing something at a mobile home park where I'm actually meeting a mobile home park manager again today, continuing to build relationships, and again, explaining to people what in the world we do and why do I want to do it inside of this mobile home park. So welcome one, welcome all. We appreciate you guys being here. If you notice, today's topic is, are you making these 4 mistakes? So even though I got a lot to say today with a short amount of time, I still have 4 really coaching points that I want to give you. 95% of the time when we come on here, my coaching is usually leaning towards question that was either asked from you all or just different things that I want to kind of just give you out of my own head. But a lot of these things actually came from discovery calls that came in this week. So if you haven't had your discovery call with us yet, I'm going to go ahead and probably put that on the screen in terms of how to do that. Literally everything that I'm going to be talking about today came from discovery calls of people that watched our original webinar. They then set up that free discovery call, and then we spoke to them for 15-20 minutes to talk about how can we get them started in their city. So the first step is texting the phrase more info to the phone number 407-326 0086. I'll also screen that on the bottom of the screen, and I'll leave that there. But that's the first step. We get a lot of that. And again, I'm surrounding today's conversation from what a lot of those questions came from. So I took probably 10 to 12 different discovery calls last week. Big shout out to about 3 or 4 of those families that actually did get started. So I'm going to shout you guys out here in a minute. But the 4 things that I'm going to discuss today is problems that I heard that I also don't want you guys to run into. So before I get too deep into that, really short description. If you love God, love people, and love real estate, this is the first and the best way to get into real estate. The shared housing model, which allows us to start a housing program and not have to own the property, right? And not have to have state oversight from like DCF, ACA, Child Protective Services, and all of that stuff. If you got a big heart for God and you love people, that's really the only requirement that there is to start something like this. Again, if you love God, love people, and love real estate, and you always want to know how to mesh all of those together, God bless you, because that's what we do here at Forston Consultants. We teach you guys how to take a property, 3-bed, 2-bath, 4-bed, 2-bath. It can be a 1-bed, 1-bath, because that's what a lot of these mobile homes are that we're getting ready to get into. So all these calls that we get with Derek, I want my own apartment. Derek, I want a private suite. We're not going to be able to do that in these mobile homes now. So again, imagine being able to lease or rent a property. You don't even have to own the property. Imagine being able to lease or rent a property to be able to get in this game. Much more affordable. Connect with social workers and case managers, because that's the whole game to what we do. We build relationships with social workers and case managers, and that's called our funnel system. And that's how we take people from homeless to hopeful, and none of that requires a license. Does that make sense, everybody? So welcome one, welcome all. I appreciate you guys. I'm getting ready to bring my beautiful wife on stage who does exactly what I do. So I'm going to have fun with this because I've never done this before. It's kind of like when you're introducing somebody that's getting ready to perform and they hadn't quite came out and the curtains are closed. So ladies and gentlemen, I bring to you none other than my beautiful wife, the president and founder of the Angela Denise Foundation, which is a nonprofit organization that takes women from homeless to hopeful. These women can range from elderly adults, women that have been displaced, the working individual that actually has a job. Super excited. And she's going to tell you about a brand new client that she's getting in that serves as a security officer. But watch this. I'm an LLC, but Miss Shanye Forston, who we call Shay, she's nonprofit, and we're going to bring her to the stage right now. Give Shay a hand as she comes on stage. My better half, Miss Shay Forston. Shay, bless the people. Tell them who you are and what you do.
Good Lord. I don't even know where to start with all of that, right?
Wait, think of that intro, Shay.
That was a lot. That was a lot to take in.
I've never done that before. I think I'll do that from now on.
No.
I'm never bringing Shay on stage with me ever again, Tiffany. I think my new way is leaving Shay behind the curtains, and then I'm going to get a slide, Tiffany, that kind of, it's a curtain that open up, and then I'm going to bring Shay up.
Don't do it. Please don't do it. Oh, my goodness. Wow.
What's going on, Shay?
So is my mic working? Am I good?
Do a mic check from Tia. Tia, tell you if she can hear you. Tia, can you hear Shay?
Tia, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Centuria, good to see you as well, too. Centuria shouted us out early this morning on Facebook. So good to see you here, sis, too. We appreciate you being here. Shay?
So I just want to say thank you for the warm introduction, and good morning to everybody. As Derek said, I'm Shay Forston, the president and founder of the Angela Denise Foundation, which is a 501c3 organization here in Orlando, Florida, where we take women from homeless to hopeful, utilizing the shared living ILF, independent living facility model that we've registered here, trademark and registered. Excited about 2025, first and foremost, Derek, because we've got so much stuff that's coming out, so many relationships that we're building, and just ready to have great conversation. Look forward to seeing those that have purchased their ticket to the Pillars of Prosperity Conference here in Orlando on January 31st. I am excited about this event. You do not want to miss it. You want to go ahead if you are interested in joining us at the Pillars of Prosperity Conference, where we'll be talking about exactly what we talk about here.
Yep, right? Absolutely.
We're going to be talking about housing. We're going to be telling people how they can get started. And also what you're going to really be learning is how you can financially position yourself to get into what we do. And then those of you that are already in it, you can figure out financially, you're going to learn how to position yourself to scale. And to grow other businesses as well by using other people's money first and foremost, and being able to accurately identify what you're paying in interest cost. So it makes you a better steward of your finances for your businesses and your personal. So if you are interested in joining us at the Pillars of Prosperity Conference here in Orlando, January 31st, you can text the word PILL, PILL, to 256-215-9496. Again, that phone number is 256-215-9496. So that's my intro, Derek. What's going on?
Good stuff, Shay. There's a lot going on actually, so we can't be here for a super long time today. But I want to make sure I shout out anybody that's brand new to us. obviously, thank you to all the people that always come and hang around us and just always kind of soak up this information and energy. But if you're new to us, we just like those nice churches that's got those free gifts when you come for the first time. So if you text the word new to the same phone number, we'll give you an absolute free gift. It's actually a book that we wrote that's called Don't Wait to Be Great. So we live by that. There's a few different quotes and sayings that we live by. You hear those throughout the show. Some of those have become t-shirt lines now. I say certain things so much, y'all, that it's just become t-shirt apparel. So I encourage you guys to do that as well. So again, one of those is love God, love people, love real estate. And that's why most of y'all are probably here. Most of y'all probably also thought that you had to own the property, have a license, and get permission from your state to do what we do. But simply not. The only reason why we're able to do what we do, guys, without a license is because we're serving people that are completely independent.
Correct.
So again, we're going to be talking a lot about that January 31st. So if you guys know anything about Don Daniel, the founder of the Pill Method International, which teaches you guys how to crush and eliminate debt, because this whole year, guys, and first of all, Happy New Year as well. This whole year is all about eliminating debt, getting out of debt, leveraging debt the right way, but also making a bunch of money and being an impact in your community. So if that fits your genre of what you're trying to be this year, and let me slow it down because I know I talk fast.
Yeah, slow down.
But if what you want this year is to eliminate debt, and also maybe find out how can we leverage debt the right way to actually make some money, but also learn from Shay and I, and a lot of our team, how can you also make a bunch of money while doing God's will by serving your community through affordable housing? So if you love God, love people that love real estate, and want to get rid of debt the right way, not the way the bank trying to tell you, because the bank don't want you to know the things that we're going to be talking about January 31st.
Yeah.
And that's going to be all credit to Don Daniel, because that's what he specializes in.
Correct.
And if I'm not mistaken, I think my team told me Tiffany bought her ticket. So Tiffany, I think I seen Tiffany. Tia's name popped up on that list. So you guys are going to become like, well, I'm going to reword that. Tiffany and Tia are people that we call family. But you guys, like Tiffany, we're going to probably have to move Tiffany to Florida, Shay. What you thinking?
Listen,
I know Tiffany built in Oklahoma and she's from there, but can we move her to Florida, Shay?
We can make a snowbird.
She coming so much.
I think we can make a
maybe
snowbird.
we get her a property here, maybe. Tiffany coming here so much for everything that we do. Listen. And I want to take 2 seconds to shout that out. There's a lot of y'all, man, that support everything that we do. Yeah. If I throw an event tomorrow and say, hey, y'all, I'm going to get a bunch of worms in a bucket and I'm going to show y'all how to throw them in the water and go fishing. Tia going to buy a ticket. Tiffany going to buy a ticket. The Rajel family going to buy a ticket. Yeah. Angela Brooks coming. Like, there are certain people, man, no matter what we do,
they'll be there.
Like, y'all come in. We appreciate that. But what I love even more, that y'all always tell us that even though you did come and you did travel, it was worth your time. It was worth the cost of admission. So we appreciate that. Back to my spiel. January 31st is where we want to see you guys, man. Again, this is an event you absolutely don't want to miss. It's in Orlando, Florida. And again, we're going to be talking about this. And then we're going to let Don Daniel teach you guys how to eliminate that debt. And don't forget, we're going to feed y'all. And so one more time, we're going to put on the screen. It's called the Pillars of Prosperity Conference. Yeah. So a lot of y'all been hearing us talk about Pop Clive. That is not my uncle or my grandfather. That's the acronym for Pillars of Prosperity Conference Live. And that's the website to where you guys can get all the information, book your ticket, and also hotel reservation information, because all of that is in one spot. Michelle?
I do want to share something too about this event. What I appreciate and what I think it's going to bring, what I know it's going to bring so much value, and the gifts that Don has for every attendee. I'm not allowed to say it yet. You'll have to tune in when he's live with us on the radio next Friday. But Don is doing something so amazing that he's never done before. And this is not an event that you're going to pay for and be upsold. Okay. Nothing about this event is an upsell. The ticket price is what you pay, and then you walk away with the information and something else. I can't tell you what the something else is, but you're going to walk away. She keep teasing y'all that way too. And because I'm so excited, and Don has not given me the green light to share, so I'm going to that'll be his thing to share. But he is definitely looking for partnerships. So if you all know pastors, churches, he would love to provide this service to those pastors and those churches, so that they can be a walking billboard of, hey, we were able to do this without asking for additional giving or doing different things. He's using your current state, your current financial state, and helping you pay down your debt or pay down your interest, pay off your interest cost. So
and all debt too. So
all
student debt,
yes.
car loan debt,
Yeah.
housing debt.
Business-
So all your
business
debt,
debt.
guys. So
Yeah, business
we're
debt
super
as well.
excited. And also, if you guys saw my Instagram or Facebook page lately, we've been kind of posting certain things. And Shay
Yeah.
told a story on the radio yesterday. Make sure you guys are joining us on WOKB every Friday at 12 p.m. Eastern. We are featured every Friday, again, discussing affordable housing. How can
Yeah.
you be the answer in your city, right? Do God's will, make a bunch of money doing it. Like, that's what we're about, y'all. Every Friday. And Shay talked about
Smart goals.
smart goals,
Smart
but I
goals.
was actually headed somewhere else and I lost my train
About
of
the
thought.
event. We were talking about Don's event. I think.
Man, I lost my train of thought, y'all. I'm sorry. Man, I was headed somewhere good too. But anyway, don't miss the event, January 31st. And again, don't miss us, because if you did miss it, go back and check that out. They streamed that also to my page on Facebook. Shay went through this whole thing, did discussing what the SMART mean. SMART goals. So SMART. She talked about that. We won't go into that now. But again, back to today's topic, guys. Want to make sure that I give you guys exactly what you came for. So one more time, and I'm going to jump into it. If you love God, love people, love real estate, you're in the right place.
Yes.
Right? This does not require a license. You don't have to own the property. And again, I'm going over 4 things today that I noticed this week that a lot of people are struggling in. And I'll admit, a lot of these people actually already had a property. So
Yeah.
I'm going to be talking from the standpoint of when people actually get this thing up and running and get started. But watch this. If you guys have any questions or concerns while we're speaking, I'm here for probably another 45 minutes or so. And I'm going to allow you guys to ask your questions. We also got 3 or 4 different families that have questions about our coaching and the cost of all of that. We're going to talk about that too. But more importantly, I want to answer you guys' question and also go ahead and get started with these 4 points. So really quickly, even before we get to that, let me pay a bill or 2, and then we're going to come right back, guys. Hey, what's going on, family? I super hope you guys are enjoying this information. But let's just say you want more one-on-one coaching, just like what you're receiving now. You're actually looking for our ILF Mastery Blueprint. So that's our hand-holding one-on-one coaching, where that's what most of the people that come to us, that's what they want. They don't want to just watch me on YouTube all the time, right? They want me in their back pocket for one-on-one coaching. And what's super powerful about it right now, that there's a scholarship that's actually available that brings that down to only $7,500, a long ways from the normal price of the 15 grand. So even doing this live right now, if you guys text IMB below, my team can send you over some information. But nevertheless, definitely go over and see forstonconsultants.com and check us out there as well. Let's get back to the show. We're back, ladies and gentlemen. Thank y'all so much for spending this morning with us. And before I get started, is there anybody that's new to us, or is everybody pretty much family here? I just want to make sure, because usually I kind of do a brief intro. I think I did that, but I just want to honor and respect anybody that's completely new. Can you just let me know in the chat if you're completely new to us? And then everybody, if you could just put what city and state you're from. We always network here. Usually also on Saturdays, we talk a lot about our HRA program in terms of how we become a housing referral agency and do exactly what we do, but you never need the property to actually do it in, right? You only need a cell phone and an internet connection, and you can still make referrals to people and make a difference. So I see 2 new people so far. So Worldwide Levels, thank you so much for being here. Don't forget, we have a free gift. And if you just text the word new to that phone number scrolling below, it'll come directly to you. K.I. Jumbo or Jumbo. And if I'm messing that up, please forgive me. Key Jumbo. Let me know how you guys found us and where you guys located. Good to see you, Troy, as always. Good to see you, Miss Katara. Oh, you guys are family. Anybody else new here? So for Worldwide Levels, I'm going to give a 30-second intro, but I'm also encourage you to just watch our introductory masterclass webinar. Also soak up a lot of this information. I have over 655 videos on the topic of shared housing. There's nobody on the internet streets that teaches it like we do. and that has the knowledge like we do. So really quickly, we just take a 4-bed, 2-bath home, 3-bed, 2-bath home, and we can rent it or lease it. That's the first thing that blew my mind worldwide levels when God showed me probably 7, 8 years ago, a lady that was literally living my dream. She was doing this thing that I'm going to be talking about today. The only difference is, guys, she was doing it in rats and roaches. Now, most of my family, y'all know this story, so bear with me. This is for worldwide levels. We are on one page right now, and I'm pretending that it's only me and that person. So I prayed for God to change my life through helping people, and I always wanted to be in real estate. God was genius enough to show me through my job as a social worker how I was able to merge those together. So God showed me a lady that was living my dream, making 41 grand a month, housing people in rats and roaches. And it was in this shared environment. Fast forward many years later, my wife and I were smart enough, especially Shay, said, Derek, we should trademark this thing you keep talking about. And you keep using the word, Derek, independent living facility. Does that actually exist? I said, well, Shay, I don't know. But I know an ALF stands for an assisted living facility. I want to serve people that are independent, Shay. Yeah. My wife's so smart, she went and looked it up. 7 years after that dream, probably 6 years after that dream of mine, Shay said, Derek, we should trademark it. Nobody has it. So it all started as me being a social worker. I'm giving you the sped up version because this story can last 3 hours. I was a social worker with this dream, and God showed me conditions just like this, worldwide levels. And tell me your real name if you want me to call you that too. I don't want to call you that if that's not what you want. Right. I want to be very respectful. Are you a ma'am or a sir? Let me know all of that. And again, if you're new, let me know, because if not, me and worldwide levels having a one-on-one talk. If you want to join that, let me know in the chat if you're new, name and location. Everybody else here was used to hearing my big mouth running, they family. But this is a lot of what I saw worldwide. You see that burnt up kitchen? Now, my wife and I done rehabbed a lot of stuff. We in that game too. This is not a rehab, y'all. This is where somebody was living. You see the beds on the floor, no bed rails, no sheets, no comforter. One of them, you can see the plastic on the mattress still. Are you serious? And then the one that broke my heart is when I found out, Mr. Social Worker me, that a lady that I knew, man, she was sleeping in front of the kitchen stove paying $750 a month because me, Mr. Social Worker, that never saw a group home, never saw an ALF, never saw a housing program. I sat behind a desk with a pen and a pad and a computer with a few names on it of housing programs, but all of them had rats and roaches. Yeah. I said, God, why not me? So if 3 of y'all can just type in the chat right now, why not me? Because what excited me also worldwide, that lady said, Derek, man, I'll never teach you how to do this because you the social worker. You just keep sending me people. But she said, I don't own these properties. I said, ooh. Do you see the beds on the floor? Just give me 3. And I said, yeah, Derek, I can see them cinder blocks holding the bed up. So I always jokingly said that if you ain't got your glasses on today, guys, those are cinder blocks that are holding the bed up. And the same lady I watched make $40,000 a month doing this, these are the conditions that she did it in. Worldwide, the devil is a liar. So they said they found me. I work out of VA, but I live in Atlanta. Found y'all on Instagram, I believe. Perfect. So appreciate you, big bro. Thank you. I appreciate that. Share the word. Share this with your family, friends, business partners, but this is exactly what we do. And I'm going to end this story real fast because it can be a 3-hour story if I get all the way in it. Now, I do go a little deeper in the webinar, but the gist of a lot of people want to know, man, how do we get into this? I was the social worker, saw the bad conditions, prayed and begged God to get into it. Most people hid it from me. And it took me 2 years and I lost 60 pounds trying to figure it out. But Lord have mercy, once we got it, and I snatched my wife from corporate America about 1.5 years later, I said, Shay, I need your help. Yeah. Shay was like, but what am I going to do? I said, well, you're going to house these women now. I ain't housing the women no more. She laughed and chuckled. Fast forward that 1 year later, probably. I don't know my time frame. But Shay had a bad day at work, and the vision was already coming that I needed Shay. The job taking advantage of Shay, working her like a dog. Shay soon got into this, and this is a house that Shay completely remodeled, and Shay started a nonprofit organization called the Angela Denise Foundation, and this is what the inside should look like. That's my whole story in a nutshell. Now, my job is to go all over the world because I promised God, I said, God, if you let me quit my poor job at 28 grand a year, I promise you, I'll go all over the world teaching it, and I'll never take any credit. Does that make sense, everybody? So literally what I'm on this channel doing right now is just fulfilling a promise. I said, God, if you let me leave my job, because God, you showed me a lady making 41 grand a month, living my dream. I thought she was helping people. She was obviously involved in real estate. And watch this worldwide, because still right now, it's just me and you, big bro. Everybody else just lucky enough to hear me and you talk. Because your other brother in the chat, his name Troy, he's also right there in Atlanta. Troy is also under our coaching, and he's got one or two of these already. Watch this. When people hear this from me, I say, God, boy, if you let me get in it, God, I'll have diarrhea at the mouth because I'll go all over the world sharing it. Guys, I was making 28 grand a year. A lady showed me in rats and roaches and mistreating people that she was making 41 grand a month. Two of y'all type in the chat, why not me? So I said, God, why not me? I want to help people. I said, God, and what's different about me? Y'all, I was starting to plead in my case to God. I said, God, I'll help people. Now I'm trying to end this story because, again, I can talk about this for 3 hours because it shocked me that nobody would teach it, but then just want me to keep sending clients. Y'all, I soon resigned from my job, and I got right in the middle of this, and now I'm the go-to person in my city. I'm going to talk to y'all today about emails that I'm getting from law enforcement, hospitals, and things of that nature because they depend on us now because of what this model does. It's affordable. Hate to say it, but it's kind of easy to get into because it requires no license. There's no oversight. I didn't have to go call my state entity. I don't need to hire staff because the people that we house are completely independent. And most of them are going to live in a model that looks like this worldwide. 2 people per room. But what do we do with that guy that say, man, Derek, I ain't sharing no room, bro. I'm a grown man. Here we go right here. That's that private model. That's that private suite. So again, that's just my intro to this if you're new to us. And again, I can talk about just that part of it for 3 hours and pull a lot of different coaching points out of it. But I want to make sure that I give you guys some game today for people that maybe already have these properties, or when you get a property, what are the 4 things that I do not want you to make a mistake on? Number 1, let's jump right into it. I found out today, Miss Camille, through a lot of my discovery calls, people are outpricing the market. Remember, I told you a lot of my discovery calls came this week for people that already have one of these. They have an ILF. But what I noticed and what they're doing, they're outpricing the market and they don't know how to price it. One of the first things I teach you is, what are you charging? How do you know you're charging enough? How do we make sure that we're making a profit? Because remember, this is not a shelter, ladies and gentlemen. This is one of those things that where, boy, you can please God, help people, be respected by your community, but also make enough money to feed your family. Does that make sense? Because if you're new to us, like my big bro worldwide, he's never heard me say that. Most of y'all should get tired of me saying it because I say it so much. Does that make sense? Help people, love God, be respected by the community while we're doing it, and make enough money to feed my family. Now reverse that to you, for y'all to make enough money to feed your family. And watch this, because somebody will say, boy, that boy must be a preacher. No, I'm not. I just love God. I love people. And we have fallen in love with real estate because we found out we could do God's will through real estate. How powerful is that? How many of y'all have ever wanted to get into real estate? Somebody type me in the chat. No matter what form, Airbnb, shared housing, rental properties, fix and flip, type me in the chat if you've ever wanted to be involved in real estate in any kind of way. I'm going to be the first one. Hold on. Let me go to my thing. Tia beat me. Linda beat me. Let me type mine in because y'all beat me. There go my me. Here come everybody else. But can you imagine, because Derek didn't say it, worldwide, because I'm still talking to you, big bro. It's just me and you until anybody's telling me that they're new to us today. All these other people are either being coached by us or they've been around already. So right now, if you just joined us, I'm talking to worldwide levels in the chat because I'm pretending it's only me and him because he's new to us. So if you new to me, just put your name in the chat and I'll put you in this conversation. But right now, it's just me and worldwide. And I just ask y'all to type the word me in the chat if you've ever wanted to be involved in real estate. Because watch this. I didn't say it. The Bible says, and remember, I'm no pastor. The Bible says the poor and needy will always be among us. So we're literally doing God's will again, y'all, through real estate, through the thing that you always wanted to be involved in. How genius is God to do that? But back to my point, because I don't want nobody to get lost in this. Watch this, because I'm like those preachers that will take a pig trail. But watch this though, Tiffany. What I found out and what's a part of our coaching is to teach you what you should be charging. Well, Derek, I heard you say on the video that we need to charge somewhere between $700 and $800. No, I didn't. I was just giving an example of a number, because where I live, Tia doesn't charge the same thing. Where Tia live, Tiffany doesn't charge the same thing, and neither does Katara. Because the three people I just named, they're South Carolina, Oklahoma, Florida. Guys, we all live in different places. The clients we serve, which is maybe you call a tenant or a resident, they all receive different amounts of income because of where they live. 90% of the people that we serve worldwide, they receive SSI or SSDI. That's a government stipend they get every month without fail. Nothing stops it. That means when people say, well, Derek, I hear you talk about y'all get guaranteed rent. What that mean? SSI, SSDI. That means that I'm not depending on my residents to get up and go to Walmart and get a job, to go and work at Sonny's Barbecue, to go work at Burger King. Now, I do got about 5% of my guys that do have a job, though. But most of my residents, which yesterday was payday for us, I'm giving y'all the game. We get paid on the 1st and the 3rd. Most of my tenants get paid on the 1st, but I'll admit the majority get it yesterday on the 3rd. And for us, that money is automatic because we put it in our system, digitalflowsolutions.net, and it just draws it out automatically every month on the 3rd, on the 1st. Now, when I first started Worldwide, I was picking that money up manually, driving around getting it. That got old real fast. So we automate everything now. But what I found out Worldwide, if you go and get you a 4-bed, 2-bath home, and remember, we rent by the room, by the bed. So how do you know what to charge for this room? How do you know what to charge for that private room and to make sure that you're profitable? So guys, do your market research, and I'll give you some coaching right now for free. Here we go. Go to Facebook Marketplace in your area and type the phrase in room rentals or rooms for rent. That'll at least give you a starting point of what most people are charging for what may be a private room or this shared living environment that we're talking about. Does that make sense, everybody? Can just 2 people type in, yeah, that makes sense, Derek. Go to Facebook Marketplace, type in the phrase room rentals or room for rent. You're going to see it, guys. This concept we're talking about is not so new that you won't find it. Most people don't have the structure behind it like we do, though. And that's one of these 4 steps that we're also going to talk about. Most people just rent rooms worldwide. Worldwide, we don't just rent rooms, bro. It's kind of more of a program based. We got rules and structure and handbook. So you cannot come to my place and use drugs and alcohol. You cannot live in my place and bring your girlfriend or your cousin to come and live and chill out and watch the football game. Now, if your cousin want to come and knock on the door and y'all go to Chili's together and watch the game, no problem. But your company, outside company, can't come in my ILF and kick their feet up on my coffee table. So again, mistake number 1 that I've had calls about this week, people don't know how to price it. So now you wonder why you empty so long. Derek, I had this program for 3 months and I can't get nobody in. And I can usually diagnose most people's problems within 3 questions. And it always starts with price, social media, meaning marketing. And again, I hate to say it, marketing. Most people don't have a website, and we're going to also get there. But again, first mistake, and somebody help me out and write these in the chat. The first mistake that I don't want you to make, because look at today's topic, are you making these 4 mistakes? Are you outpricing the market for what people can afford also for these room rentals? Thank you, Shay. Mistake number 2, moving along. But somebody help me in the chat because I want somebody, even when they're watching this on the replay, to already have them in a chronological order. So again, mistake number 1, you guys are outpricing the market. And again, our coaching covers everything I'm going to talk about today. So make sure that you think about our one-on-one coaching as well. So the next step is marketing. This week I had, out of those 12 discovery calls, probably 5 of those calls with Derek. I got a house, so I'm good there, but Derek is empty. What am I doing wrong? I can usually diagnose most people's problems within a few questions. And again, most people, I'll admit, probably 75% of people. Now, and I'm going to pretend it is none of y'all because y'all wouldn't do this because y'all are listening and learning from me.
Yeah.
The next one is no marketing, no advertisement, and no website presence, no social media. And I call all that just in one. So for me, when I said, well, do you have a website? Well, no, not yet. Do you have an Instagram and a Facebook and a TikTok and a LinkedIn? No, I don't really understand how to do that. Well, I solved your problem already, and we ain't even been talking for 20 seconds.
Derek.
If you start a housing program, how will people know you exist if there's nowhere to drive them back to clarify or to, again, make sure that you're legit?
But even with that, Derek, a big thing that I notice people do is they start the business, right? They have the LLC, they have all of that stuff set. Like you said, they're not marketing at all. But when they do go out and start making those relationships, you said it, they don't have nothing to point back to. People, especially when you're working with organizations, other organizations are going to see that you've either had one, some longevity, or two, that there is, something to follow up on, right? Whether that's looking for you on your website, looking for you on Google My Business, looking to see that you actually exist.
Google My Business, that's a big one that she just skirted across.
Yeah,
like that's a major gem.
And a lot of people don't invest in the verification of their businesses. And that's one of the things that I think a lot of people struggle with. They start a business and they think that, okay, build it and they'll come. But with building something, you have to do the other parts to just that, other than building, right? Think about the big apartment complexes that are building up, and once they're open, you see that the parking lot is full and they have all of these people. It's because they're marketing. Yep. They're reaching out to different people. They have a viable website. They have even a social media presence that's introducing you or taking you on the journey from when they broke ground to now they're walking you through this apartment that looks so lavish and lush. You've got to take people on the journey. You've got to be, you have to be rememberable. You have to have points of contact outside from just your phone number, right? Like right now, Derek, the pill method, because of its website and automations, I've missed 30 calls this morning. So once I get off this live, I've got to make 30 phone calls, right? Because those are touch points that have been met through marketing. And if you don't do it, you really become just someone that has an LLC and you're wishing and hoping that people will come and find you. And that's technically not how it works, right? Marketing is the biggest part of anybody's success, whether it's social media, email blast, SMS campaigns, all of those things matter when it comes to having a successful business. Back to you, D.
Good stuff. Shay, I just corrected that text that you sent earlier. You was one number off. Could you erase that one?
Absolutely.
We're actually coordinating live with you guys, and I won't go super crazy deep into it, but we're coordinating this move-in that I just told you guys about. We're not flying them in, but somebody just literally flew in internationally back into the States from Africa, from Ghana. And we're going to be housing this gentleman. Yeah. Most of you guys that were around me for about, I'll say probably 4 months ago when this originally happened, you guys were live the day that we actually flew him out. And we told you guys that sometimes we get placements that are what we would call, what's the opposite word of,
temporary.
Temporary. Yeah, that's a good word. Temporary. But that temporary placement came back around to now it's permanent. We never knew that it was going to be like, hey, he's going for 4 months, but when he comes back, he still needs you guys. It's absolutely going that way. So we're super grateful for that. My coaching students or family members will go deeper into that, but I just want you guys to know what we're talking about. I want to go back to that marketing piece real quick. People ask us all the time, what do you guys use? We use something that's called Digital Flow Solutions. The website is digitalflowsolutions.net. The reason why we love them, because it's an all-in-one platform that allows us to run everything. You can't think of anything that you need in your business that Digital Flow Solutions don't need. So Shay, if you can type in the chat, digitalflowsolutions.net, so they'll know where to go. All of our marketing comes from here. All of our phone calls come from here. All of our email campaigns come from here. All of my TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn. See where I'm going, guys? I don't have to go outside of anything else to do anything for the business. I can get rid of DocuSign because this software does it, right? So again, remember my phone, text messaging services. So if you got 35,000 people in your email thing, You can send out 35,000 text messages,
Yeah.
35,000 emails with the touch of a button. So again, when people ask us, Derek, what are y'all using for your marketing? Only the best platform available.
Yeah.
And I'm going to let Shay talk about it, because if I don't, she'll bust, because she's really techie and understands it. Shay, tell the people what are the benefits about it.
The benefits of digital flow solutions. I know so many of you follow Derek on Facebook, Forston Consultants on Facebook and their social media platforms. You'll see that now we're doing things like comment this in the under a post, and if you comment, it's going to automatically DM you different things and send you information pertaining to whatever that post is. Those are some of the things that you can do with digital flow solutions: automations, workflows, like Derek said, SMS campaigns, email campaigns, invoices, recurring invoices, contracts, quotes, like whatever it is that your business needs to run. Social media management. You can post on all of your social platforms through this one location, right? So you don't have to give somebody access to your Meta account or give somebody access to this. If you have a virtual assistant and they need to kind of review or view everything pertaining to a specific email, you have a CRM system that will allow them to do that. So Digital Flow Solutions is a one-stop shop to everything.
Can I interrupt you, Shay, and be rude for 2 seconds? There's a lady that's texting me right now, and I hope she joins, right? Her name, and I'll just call her P. Woods for right now until she comes in. This is an example of what Shay is talking about. This lady just saw me on Instagram from an Instagram post and literally just text this, because I'm going to read her post out loud, and I hope she joins. I would like to speak to you concerning the affordable housing crisis we have in my city. I would love to open an independent housing to alleviate some of the problems. People who are living on a fixed income are literally homeless here in Pensacola due to high rent prices.
Absolutely.
Ms. Woods, let me know when you get in here, because I just text you that we're live in YouTube right now. This is what we do. So I text her, let me know when she's here in the chat, and we're going to shout her out and also answer her questions. Because again, Shay just told you how this marketing thing works.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, we're talking about housing, but even with my coaching, see, bam. So even with my coaching business, people find me on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok.
That's marketing.
So how do you think the case managers, social workers, and social service providers find me? How do you think the lady that emailed me yesterday, her title is the Reentry Transitional Service Coordinator of Orange County? I didn't even know that the Orange County Jail had such a program. And guess what they do, Shay? Housing. And they're looking for other ways to help people re-enter back into society. So, Miss Paula Woods, I'm so glad you're here. My name is Derek Forston. You somehow found us on Instagram or Facebook or somewhere, but you're in the middle of us explaining to people, how do we start an independent living facility without having to own the property,
right?
Without having need a license, and no state oversight and no staff. Yeah. Literally, I'm talking to literally one person right now. I'm pretending, but now you're number two. I'm literally explaining to a gentleman right now how I started this over 8 years ago, and God showed me a vision of a lady that was housing people making 41 grand a month, Miss Paula. She was doing it in rats and roaches though. So the very model that we do, God showed me a vision, because this was my dream. And here we are 8 years later doing it. But God showed me a lady making 41 grand mistreating people through real estate. Yep. And here we are today. We've mastered it, and now we teach it all over the world. So welcome, because we're in Orlando, Florida. So you're not far from us. We got family in Tallahassee, and we teach people in Tallahassee, which you're also not far from. In fact, we have a lady in Pensacola. Shay, remember the lady that kept changing her logo from gold to green? That's her. So again, guys, welcome. I appreciate you being here, Miss Paula. You can ask any question that you want. My genius wife is just explaining what software we use to reach all of these people, where we're trying to fill these empty beds or build relationships with social workers and case managers. Back on you, Miss Shay.
Yeah. So another thing is this, as Digital Flow Solutions also becomes my house management system as well. Right. So I can manage my house through this system.
I like how you said that. Maybe we need to brand that house management system.
Yeah, it's a house management.
HMS. I like that.
So it allows me to keep like my census. It allows me to maintain all of the documents that I need on every resident. It gives me full access to, I can store all of their information, any type of files that I have for them, whether it's a copy of their social, a copy of their license, a copy of different things
Right.
that they may potentially lose, right? Lord forbid, Lord forbid. But sometimes we work with a population type that is not very responsible. So there's things that I can keep on file under them in the system and not have to have different storage places for everything. So Digital Flow Solutions is all of that. My leasing, my occupancy agreements, along with all of my move-in packets, get sent to the resident.
Slow down right there, because I don't want nobody to miss that. Guys, we don't hand out physical leases and
Correct.
paperwork anymore. Notice Shay said move-in packet, which is digitally, right, Shay?
Correct.
You got it. Go ahead.
Everything is digital. Oh, wow. Everything is done digitally. We literally, if the client doesn't have a way to sign, we then take the iPad and go in person and do it.
I thought you guys sent that.
I did.
We're live, guys, and we're getting messages, and we just let y'all see all of our stuff.
This is DFS working.
Yeah,
like the message that came in on my watch. You see the little logo, that's for Digital Flow Solutions. That's our mobile app.
In fact, Shay, that's so important. Maybe take care of that and come back.
Yeah,
that's really important. And that's so powerful, guys, because our virtual assistants don't work on the weekends. This message is so powerful. I want Shay to handle this real time while you guys are just still here. But again, Shay's the techie one, and I'm the one that always jokingly tell people, don't worry about if you're not super techie, because even with our coaching that we give you all, our one-on-one coaching, Ms. Paula, it comes with a virtual assistant that absolutely will understand this system and also get trained in it. So again, we're also talking about the 4 mistakes that I don't want to see you all make. Miss Tia actually started to put them in the chat for me, right? So I think we're on mistake number 3 that we're getting ready to go into. First mistake, Paula, that people was outpricing this thing. So literally what you see on screen, and I'll go ahead and skip ahead because you're just joining. Right here is what our model looks like. This is what we changed it from. We will not do this. When I tell you, Miss Paula, God allowed me to see a lady making 41 grand a month doing this. Guys, and this is the model and the style and how she did it. You see this bed on cinder blocks? This will break your heart. And if it don't, you in the wrong session. So again, if you're joining us and you love God, love people, and love real estate, we're just showing you guys how to do what we call shared housing. My wife and I trademarked independent living facility. So we're talking about the 4 mistakes that I never want to see you all make, because I took over 15 calls recently. And a lot of the mistakes that I'm noticing, I just come right back here and coach you guys on it. So mistake number 1, don't outprice the dadgum place, right? You need to do your market research. And if you don't know how to do it, I gave you the advice right here. Our one-on-one coaching, which is hand-holding, also covers that. Number 2 was the marketing aspect. Most people, when they tell me, Derek, I got a house, and man, I can't feel it. Derek, I'm on my 5th month and it's still empty. Most time there's no website, no social media presence, and there's no you. Tell you guys all the time, come on camera and shoot a video with your branded shirt. Miss Patricia, you're going to hardly ever see me without a shirt that's branded in some kind of way with one of my businesses. I believe in being a walking billboard. Somebody type that in the chat. Always be a walking billboard, meaning wear your brand and be proud of it.
Yeah.
So the next step that we on in that, the mistakes that I don't want you guys to see, and remember, digitalflowsolutions.net is that one all-in-one platform that can run your business. Now watch this. What's cool about DFS, Digital Flow Solutions, I don't care if you own a bakery, a daycare, a consulting business, or you house the homeless and the displaced in a shared housing environment. You need a website.
You do.
I don't care if you fry chicken and sell it out the back room of your house. I don't care if you bake brownies and ride around in your car and sell them. You need a website presence and a social media presence, starting at least with Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. That's how most of y'all found me running my big mouth, trying to change the world on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. You can't talk to enough people in your city or at your church to get the word out. Utilize these platforms, y'all, to get the word out instead of to 3 people, to 3,000 people with the touch of a button. So again, Digital Flow Solutions is how we do that. The third mistake that I've been noticing, Shay, when I'm asking people, what kind of documents do you have? Did you move them in and make them sign leases or handbooks or release of liability? And most of them say no.
Yeah.
And Shay, that is an absolute no in the way that we do it. Guys, I wrote a book that's called How to Avoid the 12 dumbest mistakes I ever made. In that book is a $40,000 lawsuit that I went through worldwide. I'm still here with Worldwide now. Worldwide, you still with me, big bro? Let me know if you dropped off now. If you still here, tell me, because I'm still with you. Now it's you and Miss Paula. But I wrote a book, y'all, that talked about and was vulnerable enough to explain to you the dumb mistakes I made. And I don't want y'all to make those. That's why our coaching is so powerful. Not only do you get the experience, you get the tools. Absolutely. And you get my brainiac wife that runs Digital Flow Solutions to help you organize and put everything together. God won't bless a mess. I'm going to say that again real slow. I heard that in church Sunday from somebody else, and it wasn't even the pastor. God will not bless a mess. So in 2025, can we all agree to get things in order? You know how many people are impressed, Miss Paula, when we actually tell them that we have paperwork? Social worker say, Derek, man, you got rules? Yeah. Derek, you got signature pages and paperwork and documents and leases? Yeah. Yeah. This ain't something that we do as a hobby, ladies and gentlemen. This is an absolute business. Hop in, Shay. You have to take business serious in all aspects. And sorry, I'm looking at two different screens, guys. You have to take business so serious. A lot of times people get, that buzz of wanting to be an entrepreneur, but they don't put in all of the fine details of what it takes to truly run and operate a business effectively. You don't want to be seen as a clown show. When you are working with all of these different entities, they're going to be looking for the same stuff. Prime example, I have a move-in on Tuesday. And the first thing they asked is, what is your process? As a business, as an entrepreneur. And Shay don't even know it, y'all, because I wrote my notes where without her, that's actually the next topic. What is your process? Keep going, Shay. Really? Okay, keep going. So see, you right in the vein. You have to have a process. You don't want to work with an organization and every week that they send a resident or send a client to you that your process looks completely different. You want to be able to have them so, you want your process to be so streamlined and so the same every time that when that person does it, they can do it automatically without you. Does that make sense? Can you repeat that? That they can literally do it without you. So it puts your case manager and your social worker on autopilot. So now you teach them, right? What I say all the time, show one, do one, teach one. So if you show them what your process is once, the next time they'll be able to initiate your process without you. The second time they can teach everybody in their office how you do business. Show one, do one, teach one. That is the way you want to have your system set up. And that's why it is so important to have these things in place. How do you do your business? What are your processes? Right. And that includes paperwork. I like how you said it too, Shay. I think you said that you almost got to teach them the way you do business. You do. Because they don't know, right, Shay? I love that. They don't. So you've got to show one, teach one. Show one, do one, teach one. Right. So if you show them first, then they're going to be able to initiate it by doing it themselves the next time. And then teach one is they're going to be able to take your process and say, hey, if you want to do business with the Angela Denise Foundation, this is how it works. Okay, so that way everybody in their office now knows, okay, Shay, if you have a client, you can either go here and fill out an assessment, or you can either give Jess a call and let Jess do the assessment. Once the assessment's done, blah, 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 then happens. So that is actually what you want people to be able to do. Show one, do one, teach one. I love it. And then the last and final point, it looks like I'm doing pretty good on time here too. It's kind of what Shay said, but in a different way. What is your screening process too? So Shay, I told you I took over 12 calls this past week, discovery calls, and you guys can get that same call. Yeah. And the only step is to watch our original masterclass webinar. The instructions are screening below. It says first step to getting started is text the phrase more info. So that's MOREINFO to that phone number, 407-326-0086. That's the first step. And then you can have a discovery call. Shay, all of these 4 points are coming from those 12 calls. Yeah. I noticed that A lot of these people that didn't have a screening process. When they called my phone, I just took the guy. Really?
No.
That's why you had such a problem with him. Guys, if we moved in everybody that called our phones, I would be running a circus, which is what my program was in the beginning many years ago, because I didn't know what I was doing, y'all. Today, the assessment is one of the biggest and most important pieces to the puzzle in which we do. The assessment for us here at Forston Consultants simply means a series of questions that allow me to make a sound decision about who moves into second chance housing. I say that again really slowly, and you just input your name into it now. For us in the Forston Consultants Dictionary, the assessment means a series of questions and nothing's off limits. Are you a sexual offender? Have you ever been to jail? Have you ever punched a hole in the wall? Guys, I ask everything so that I'm making sure that we're serving the right people. Because remember, I'm in a shared living environment. So this picture that you see on this screen, he got a roommate more than likely, unless he's got this room where he's by himself. So I need to know their behaviors to make sure I'm offering a clean, safe, affordable environment. Make sense, everybody? If you just moving everybody, that's going to be one of the biggest mistakes you can ever make. That's why that's also in that book I told you about, the 12 dumbest mistakes I ever made. One of them, Shay, was not doing a proper assessment. And again, for me, I just call that the screening process. And again, Shay, some people don't have a website, so how can they call you and verify you? Some people don't even have a phone, Shay. That's why Digital Flow Solutions is so powerful, because you get your phone, your text messaging services, and your email campaigns.
Derek, it becomes such a, we've seen so many people, and it's not a shot at them. It's just a room for improvement, right? I think you don't know what you don't know. A lot of people have passion projects that they turn into businesses. And because they don't have the business acumen to make the right decisions, they don't make the right decisions, right? So that's why we see a lot of failures in early startups. It's not because your idea is wrong. It's not because you don't have what it takes to do it. Well, it is that you don't really have all that it takes to do what you need to do. But ultimately, you want to surround yourself with the right people that can give you the information to be successful, and also help you build out things that will make your product or your service a success. So that way it's not a one-day startup and then it's a failed process or failed business. So you want to make sure that you are surrounding yourself with the right people and the right information.
Good stuff. And ladies and gentlemen, if you just joined us, we're actually done with that, right? So we brought out 4 mistakes that I just want to absolutely see you guys avoid. This is for people, especially that actually already have a property. Now, if you don't have a property and you haven't quite gotten started yet, consider this your cheat code so that you don't make these same mistakes. So also make sure that you guys are visiting us at forstonconsultants.com. Under the tab that says products and services, a lot of you guys are texting in, like, even while we're live, where's the coaching? Where's the coaching? So that means that you guys are liking what you're hearing and you trust it enough to ask about that. So if you guys go to, again, forstonconsultants.com, under the tab that says products and services. But again, the quickest way also, again, is to watch our free webinar, because that gets you on the phone call with me for free, right? That way you can ask your questions in terms of, Derek, I heard you say this. What does that mean? Derek, you said this. Can you elaborate? And also, again, I'll admit, it's going to answer probably 95% of the questions that you have. Yeah. We always notice and can tell when somebody hasn't watched the webinar, because you will ask me 3 things that are in the first 8 minutes of that video. So I did a really good job of answering a lot of questions in terms of what most people ask. So your advantage is to watch the webinar and then come and create new questions that you would have not asked had you not watched it. So that's the advantage to you. And also our coaching, there is no sale per se. The Lewis family asks that, but there is also usually always a scholarship opportunity. Yeah. So there's a lot of that sometimes, which does discount the price. So it's not a sale per se, but like even right now, if you text the word scholarship and you've heard enough and you want this coaching, you can literally text the word scholarship to that same phone number. My team is going to see through the analytics if you watch the webinar, and then they'll book a call with me and also to talk about how can we discount that price? Like, what is available in terms of a scholarship? How much can be discounted? Yeah. So that's told on a phone call. So that's for the Lewis family and the Little family, Little, The little family. And I hope I'm saying that right. Shay, back on you before I start
go ahead,
hopping into stuff.
I'm actually trying to make a modification here in this account.
Okay, so what we'll do right here then, this is probably a good moment to take a commercial break. If you guys have any questions or any concerns, Shay, was all good on that phone call, and do I need to kind of go now, or am I good for a minute?
No, you're good for a minute.
Okay, got it. So guys, when I come back from commercial break, I want you guys to put your questions in the chat in terms of what you want to ask me, if it's about the 4 points or just in general. So worldwide, if you're still here, Miss Paula, if you are completely lost, now is a great time to ask any questions about how in the world can we house people and not need a license, not have state oversight, hire no staff, and get paid from people that are homeless. So if you don't understand that, make sure after this commercial break, you ask your question. We'll be right back. If you've ever imagined of starting your own housing program, there is no reason that after we're done here tonight that you shouldn't go to forstonconsultants.com/webinars and watch the webinar, guys, because a lot of you have wanted to start a group home or traditional assisted living facility, but that stuff takes license. It takes a lot of time to open. There's a lot of red tape to jump through. You have to ask for permission. We teach you guys how to open an ILF, an independent living facility, where you can house the homeless, displaced adults, or anybody that has a guaranteed income, and it doesn't require a license, and you don't have to own the property. Make sure you watch that free webinar at forstonconsultants.com/webinars, and then set up a free strategy call so that me and my team can get you started. Let's get back to the show. All right, we are back, ladies and gentlemen. And again, thank y'all so much for tuning in with us today. You guys have a lot of choices of where you could be on these internet streets, but we appreciate it. And we truly pray and believe that 2025 is the year for you all to get into real estate and helping people. And how cool is it if you can merge those two together? So if you're super new to us, you may not have heard, but the newest thing that we're doing now is now implementing this model inside of the mobile home parks. So we're super excited about that. God is allowing some amazing relationships to happen. I won't speak so prematurely and tell you some of the good things that are happening. I'm going to kind of let it wait and let certain things pan out. But please know, I'll use the phrase, and I'm going to be careful with this, but God is kind of giving me a mobile home park. I don't own it. I probably will never own it. But in terms of access, in terms of what they're going to allow us to do, God is pretty much giving me a whole park, y'all. So and that means also the ability to be able to sell some of the mobile homes to you all as well. So if you guys are close to me in proximity, or if you're an out-of-state investor and wouldn't mind being in the local area, Eustis, Tavares, and Mount Dora will be cities that we're going to get ready to explode in Jesus' name. And see how I'm already speaking it into existence. So Mount Dora, Eustis, in the Tavares area, we're getting ready to put some affordable housing there. We're going to continue the shared housing, but also this mobile home game. I'm excited that Shay, even now through her nonprofit, and I want Shay to talk about it, is going to be able to offer housing for families now. Yeah. Guys, we've been turning families down for 7 years. Our model only houses the single individual, male or female. We usually give resources to the family to be housed elsewhere. This mobile home model, guys, is going to now open up another genre of choices for us, meaning a family now. Because a lot of times we'll get a call from a mom, dad, and 3 kids. Yeah. The pregnant lady with her 2 kids, or the husband, wife, and her 2 sons, right? We usually can't do anything with that other than give resources. But now, through this new model, through the mobile homes and these new relationships, that's going to make this beautiful. So we're excited about that. That's also going to involve Section 8. So if you've ever thought that, well, could I do Section 8 in a mobile home park? Absolutely. So we're excited about that. Shay, on you. Briefly, Shay, just tell the people, because for anybody that's new other than our regulars, people may not know that you do this from a nonprofit standpoint. So Shay, if I can interview you real quick, Shay, any difference in you doing this from a nonprofit standpoint than me being an LLC?
No, there are no difference other than, honestly, the difference will be the way I can acquire financing.
Help.
Funds. Yeah, the way I can acquire funds and, the legalities of how I operate, right? Most of my decisions are not just a one-off made decision. I can't just say, okay, Shay said this, so it's okay, and I'm going to do it. Most of the decisions, or 99.9% of the decisions, are made between me and my board, and that's how we how we operate, right? Anything I want to add new, whether it's, before I make a purchase of a new property, before I enter into anything, that is a discussion that's held at a board meeting. So it's documented and we have a conversation about it. And 9 times out of 10, well, we do vote on it. And for the most part, my board is very, very, very aware of what we do and who we serve. So they're very flexible in when I bring an idea to the table. So yeah. That's probably the only difference, Derek, is my board. My board takes has a lot of input.
Good stuff. Whereas me as an LLC, I'm the input.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, obviously, I have people that because
exactly.
I believe in also kind of having somebody over you as just kind of a overseer, even if that's kind of like a spiritual covering. People to help you make decisions. For me, that's my wife, that's my lawyers and their team, my mom, right? So that doesn't just mean because I'm not a nonprofit, I can't have some people that I also lean into.
Correct.
Prime example. This is the first time I'll say this out loud. This is probably the first year that Second Chance Housing as well as Forston Consultants will be seeking out maybe an advisory role. That means somebody that's way smarter than me, got thousands of years of education in business, 50 years, again, older than me, 50 times smarter than me, and they want to do it for free as a volunteer, but it's called an advisory role. Yeah. Not per se a mentor. I learned that just 7 days ago, how there's a difference between a mentor, a coach, and somebody that will serve as an advisory role.
Correct.
Watch this. I ain't even talked to Shay about this. Y'all hearing me tell y'all before I even told Shay.
Wait a
And
minute.
I'd also love if Shay can get one. Again, somebody that's in a nonprofit, and Shay actually has one.
I do.
But maybe another one that serves for free in an advisory role, Teal, see my fingers, Teal? Advisory role, and it's for free, complimentary to you, that can pour into your life and your business. So anyway, there's a question by my guy Worldwide here. Great question, right? Worldwide says, how do you guys deal with mental illness clients that might cause damage to your house? Who pays for damages? Glad you asked that, big bro, because one thing about us, we don't put up with that kind of stuff. But watch this. My background is mental health in terms of being a social worker. So that's my love. I love the major depressive disorder. I love the schizophrenic. I love the bipolar disorder, but they must be medication compliant, which is also one of my rules. So watch this, Worldwide. The way that we deal with that today is that, first of all, we're going to lean back on our handbook and our rule book because everything comes with rules with us. Correct. This is not a free-for-all. This is not a come move in and do what you want. We have structure and rules. That's what makes me different from a rooming house. That's what makes me different from just some guy that rent rooms. I told you 16 minutes ago that this is more of a program-based program. So we got rules and structure. So the way that we deal with it is on the assessment that we just talked about. Before anybody moves in Worldwide, they go through an assessment, which again, if I quiz you right now and asked you what it was, you would tell me, Derek said it was a series of questions that allow me to make a sound decision about who moves into my program. See how you just passed that test, Worldwide? Great job.
Come on.
So that's how I'm going to avoid that.
Yeah.
And again, let's just say I slip. Even Mr. Derek, who been in this a long time, every now and again, I'll move in a knucklehead. But guess what we do? We lean back on our rules and we got a plan in place. Strike one, strike two, boom, put our plan in place.
Right.
Because I'm also not in the business of kicking out people. My program is called Second Chance. So by the time most people meet me, they're probably on their 55th chance. But in my mind and in my heart, the day they meet me and my team, bro, this your second chance. I don't care what you've been through.
Yeah.
But if you break these rules, which you also going to sign for, we're going to have to discharge you from this program. See how that's more structured than me just rent some guy a room with no rules? So hopefully I answered your question. If I didn't, let me know. Shay also going to answer that same question and pretend she never heard me. Shay, give him your input from a nonprofit and being a woman.
So,
go ahead.
Honestly, the same, right? Everybody that I move in, again, if they do not abide or fit the niche of my assessment, right? All of my intakes are done based on those that are already in the house. So I'm always going to assess around the personalities, the people that I have. Now, when we do have an instance or, because we've had instances, that's how we know how to avoid them, right? Because you have them. You learn to do better. So what I've done is, again, sometimes it's because of a situation or a circumstance. It's not usually violent. They may have punched a hole in their own bedroom wall, right? Around nobody. They were just having a moment.
Yeah.
I do things like put people on a behavioral contract. Most of those residents most likely come with case management. When I have people that have, significant mental health, they're usually followed by case management. So case management is aware of that, and they are also aware of the behavioral contract. And then if they, have another incident like that, we go back to case management. But usually, what I'll do is I'll tend to, depending on how severe the damages I will fix them myself. But for the most part, like I said, the client will be made or held responsible for it, especially if I choose to keep them. Or like I said, initially we took when I was, I'll leave that for the other classes. But, there's funds available for those situations. So you have to make sure you have that pocket of funds available. Because when you're talking about dealing with people that have limited income, the likelihood of them being able to pay for damages is slim to none. So you have to think creatively of how you would have funds set aside for those in case situations. Derek?
Yeah, love it. So, and also on the other part, there was another part to the question. I want to bring it back up to make sure I hit it just right. Let me see. There was a second part to that question. Then I'm going to go over to what Paula asked. Let me see if I can find it here. You guys are typing so much in the chat. I got to find it. I love it when you guys are active. Oh, he says, who pays for the damages? Shay answered it, but I'm going to pretend that I didn't hear it. Speaking from my side of it, that's probably going to be me, right? And also it depends on what it is and who the client is. It may come from that client in small increments, right? But I have a mindset that if damage happens, that's probably going to come from me. That same tenant is probably going to be discharged from my program, right? Depending on what happened and what the repercussions were and what we talked about, or can we save him? Right. So I've seen both sides of it, but most of the time that's probably going to come from me. A lot of times I can also kind of give you a side of it that I'm saying is, what if you charged him a deposit, which I won't go crazy deep into because we kind of changed even the word of what a deposit is and how we do it. But here's a free gem. What if you did charge that deposit? Now you just take it from that deposit. Okay, so he's essentially paid for it because my rules are that if I do take that deposit and you damage something, when you move out, there is no refund. There is no your deposit. You pay for that hole in the wall that you punched the day when you was really upset, right? So great question though, but let me know in the chat if we answer that. Let me see. Paula says, I attended a safe house training through a new way of life. No, ma'am, I haven't heard of that. You asked, have I heard of it? I have not. Where are they located? What do they do? But no, I haven't heard of them. We're located in Orlando, Florida as well, just to kind of let you know. But no, I have not. And Paula, also don't forget, you're new to us, so make sure you ask your questions, and also make sure you watch that webinar that's scrolling below. So if you just text the phrase more info, just that phrase, right? MOREINFO to the phone number 407-326-0086. That'll give you our webinar. It'll probably ask for your name and email, and boom, you get it immediately. And after that, my team is going to send you a link once they've seen that you watched it, and they're going to schedule you a call with me if that's what you want. Okay. And then that way I can answer all your questions, all your concerns, and probably most importantly, get you started if that's what you want. Right. But if it's just general questions and you don't really want the coaching, I ask that you bring that stuff here. That way we can all learn together. Because even everything that I answered today and even what I'm doing now, people are learning from this. And also, while saying that, big shout out to people that never take our coaching, but just because you come and listen and you move at the speed of instruction and you've gotten started, congratulations to you all. And to the Rivers family, you guys are funny. Watch this. They thought that I would have been upset that they got into this and didn't get the coaching per se from me one-on-one, but they tune into this YouTube channel every Monday, Tuesday, and Saturday. And they come to our workshops that are kind of on the side. They literally just let me know that they have now 2 ILFs.
That's so
and
good.
never took our
That is
coaching.
so good.
Watch this. You guys are almost a bigger celebration than the people that actually do. So never be offended by that. Never be afraid to tell us. If you hear us teach this and you get my free stuff and you get started, please tell me.
That's a blessing.
I want to shout you out. Like, that's a blessing. That means that we're doing so good just on the free side of things, but more credit to you for moving at the speed of revelation, that you put your hands to the plow and y'all made it work. So big shout out to the Rivers family and anybody else that's ever gotten started and you didn't take the coaching. That just shows me that you're real good at listening and following through with things, and that you also got enough information to get started. So that makes me feel good. We appreciate that. Trust that. Okay. Let's see. How do you deter from random people from hanging at the house? It's part of my rules. Do you allow residents to entertain guests? Absolutely not. That's a great question. Thank you. Because people don't ask this. Well, what I would call, that's a simple question, but that can cause a lot of problems, Miss Maxwell. So thank you. We do not allow outside company. In fact, page 6, rule number probably 5, because watch this. The rule book that we give you all when we coach you, we give it to you. You don't got to make it up. And on page number 6, and if I'm wrong, Angela Brooks will tell me, page 6 has rules 1 through 10 highlighted in bold writing. There is nothing else in that book that's in bold writing other than how to make payment than on page 6. Page 6 is what will get you kicked out of my place. And let me soften that up a little bit. Yeah. Page 6 is what will get you discharged from our program. Make sense, everybody? Yeah. So we absolutely have rules. And number 5, I think, says no outside company. Your girlfriend, your boyfriend, and watch this, not to be funny or offensive, but if they're male or female, I name both sexes. I say, now your girlfriend or your boyfriend, now they can't come here. I don't care if you're a girl or a boy. I cover both ends just because of what world we're in today, right? So that means no outside company, your cousin, your boyfriend, or the guy you grew up in high school 20 years ago. He can't come here and watch the football game. And watch this, Paula. I asked that before they move in. Correct. A part of the assessment is laying my rules down and what I'm going to tolerate. Guys, I'm giving y'all a lot of coaching today that usually only go on my one-on-one stuff. How do we choose the right client, Derek? By doing an assessment, send him down either at the hospital or by phone. Hey, Ryan, you sound like a great guy. Let me tell you what my rules are, because if you can follow this stuff, you can stay till you 125 years old. But Ryan, if you don't agree with this stuff, this is not going to be a good fit for you, Ryan, and we'll part ways right now. Yeah, because guys, I'm very transparent up front. Notice I said to 125 years old, because the next question from the Terry family, you guys says, well, Derek, how long can they stay? Forever. If they follow the rules, Shay, how long can women stay in your program, Shay? As long as they want. I'm going to word it a different way because somebody going to miss it. Shay, is there a time frame on your program at the Angela Denise Foundation of how long they can stay?
Listen, I actually found an assessment. Derek, I found an old assessment.
Answer that question first, though.
I'm going to tell you the answer to that question.
No, okay.
I found an assessment that was done in 2020. I did it in October of 2020, and that person is still residing within my ILF today.
Which means there is no time frame on Shay's program. My limit is from 18 years old to 118. I jokingly tell people, if you turn 119 in my place, we got to send you somewhere else. Hey, so, and I usually get a laugh out of every resident that I'm going to move in when I say that, because they're also wondering, well, Mr. Derek, how long can I actually live here? I say, well, bro, as long as you're over the age of 18, and are you? Yeah, man. Yeah, Derek, I'm 58. Well, my age limit in the time frame is 119. So if you turn 119 in my place, sir, we're going to have to send you somewhere else. And then they start laughing. So that's my way of telling them, Camille, bro, you can stay here as long as you like, as long as you follow directions, you follow instructions, which actually means just follow the rules, bro. No drugs, no alcohol, no outside company. Take your medications every day, all the time, on time, and pay your rent all the time, on time, and early if you have the ability. That's my rules, essentially, y'all. Watch me give y'all my rules real slowly again. To live at Second Chance Housing for as long as you want to, pay rent on time, all the time, and early if you got the ability, to make sure you got a place to live. Take your medications every day. If you do have a mental health or physical health, that's going to keep you stable and sane and good behavior. Don't put your fist through my flat screen TV or my sheetrock on my wall. That means no destruction of property. And don't assault me, my staff, or any vendor that comes here to do work. Guys, I don't have staff, but they think that when I send people to do work or whatever, that's my staff. So don't assault me, staff, other residents, and don't punch my flat screen TV. No outside company, no drugs, no alcohol. Mr. Jerome, you think you can go by these rules? Derek, man, these rules are easy, bro. I don't do drugs. I ain't looking for no girlfriend. Derek, I love to pay my rent on time because I'm afraid to be homeless.
Yeah.
See, that's my kind of guy.
Yeah.
But the guy that said, Derek, I can't bring my girl here. No, dog, you can't. Then we just ruled you out. Derek, you mean to tell me, dog, if I live here, I can't crack a 6-pack at 6 p.m. when I'm ready to drink?
No.
I can't have a glass of wine when I come home, Derek, and I pay rent here? No, you can't, bro. Not here. I got 1,000 places in my city right now that allow you to do that. This ain't one of them. See how that go, Miss Paula? I'm establishing what it's going to be here. It's called expectations.
Yep.
Somebody type that in the chat.
A lot of
Guys,
people...
it's no different from my rules and my regular lease for my normal real estate where the mom, dad, and 3 kids live at. It's certain rules in their lease too. Not as stringent as no drugs and no drinking, not, because they're going to have wine in there. But if they get caught with drugs, even in my regular houses, that's not going to fly. So again, that's called setting expectations. What will I go for in here? Does that make sense? Okay, so next question, because I'm actually over my time already, actually. I just noticed that. Let me, but I want to answer all questions, though. And that moving, Shell, we still good?
Yes.
Perfect.
We just need to make a...
I am today probably going to get a U-Haul truck, though. I'm just telling y'all my thoughts and brainstorming out loud. I got a refrigerator that was donated to me that needs to go to this house. Here's a free coaching moment. Most of our facilities have more than one refrigerator, more than one freezer. Shay, can you just talk about maybe what you have in your setup? Some of us do deep freezers. Some of us do 2 fridges. What do you do, Shay?
I have 2 refrigerator and freezers, like you have in your standard home. And then there's a deep freeze.
Wait a minute. I said 2 maybe, but Shay said 3 if I ain't mistaken. Can you name that again and say why? Because somebody's going to miss that. Good teacher moment.
I have ladies that like to cook.
Okay.
And they shop. So again, just making sure that they have what's necessary so that they can have what they need. It's home. So I want them to be able to feel like it's home. Matter of fact, I got to deliver this thing. I've been meaning to do it for 2 weeks. They have assigned fridges. So what I'm going to do is put a particular type of lock on the fridge just in case, to mitigate any future
Somebody stole my Doritos, Miss Shay.
We ain't gonna have that.
Guys, we're not the food police either.
Yeah, so I'm gonna give them what they need to be able to secure their respective fridges, right? So the fridges are divided based on the residents. So they've actually split the fridges like, hey, we'll use this one, you use this one, blah, 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 blah. And they'll all have the code to be able to access whatever they need out of that unit.
Good stuff. Good stuff. I had a video that I wanted to show to answer a question. I'm trying to think, should I do that or should I wait? But I'm going to go to the chat to see if I can read any other questions. Now's a great time, guys. If you have questions or concerns about this model, and again, for anybody that's new to us, including the Terry family, you guys asked again, what does that private suite look like versus a private room? The difference between the private suite and private room is that the private room has no bathroom. Shay actually has both of these, right? So, and I kind of do too, but I love it when Shay speaks on it more so because she houses women, right? So Shay, can you tell the Terry family what's the difference between a private suite and a private room, and why do you offer both? What's the difference?
My house allows me to provide both, right? So my private suite is a room that has an ensuite, and it's usually not the master. So hear me when I say that. The master, my goal is to never, depending on how many rooms I have. So let's say I had a 3-bed, 2-bath, and the master has, the ensuite. I would never make that in a private suite because of the fact that when you're dealing with women, that'll leave the other 2 rooms or the other individuals. Let's say they're all shared rooms. That'll be 4 women to 1 bathroom. no thanks. That is just not something I'll do. So the master to me will always be just a regular shared room. And then the private suite, which is an additional room in the house that has its own ensuite, could be just that, a private suite where that individual pays, excuse me, a premium rent or bed fee, and they have access to their own restroom. So
Good
that's
stuff.
the private suite for me.
Good stuff. So hopefully the Terry family, we answered that question. Shay, I just got a call from Mr. D. Can you check that for me?
Okay.
Mr. Demetrius.
You may have to shut down.
Yeah, because I think 10:30 was the land time. So it's 11:30. So they're probably about here. So this is probably a great stopping point. I hope that I've answered a lot of questions for you all. Probably most importantly, me getting out those 4 points and those 4 mistakes that I didn't want you all to make. Make sure that you guys watch that. I'm getting ready to literally go do a move-in, which is what we do. Now, I'll admit, I don't do a lot of move-ins on Saturdays. It's just the way that this one happened. This person is literally flying from the airport back to the ILF, right? So there's a certain way we got to do it because family's involved, and he can't really go with family. So we're just trying to make sure that we have all of our ducks lined up. But again, very slowly. If you love God, love people, and love real estate, this is literally what we talked about. We take a 4-bed, 2-bath home like this, or a 1-bed, 1-bath. It can be small, you guys. And what I'm excited about is that we didn't talk about it a lot today, but we're now getting ready to do this inside of the mobile home parks. So we normally did it in a house that looks like this for the last few years, but now we're going to be doing it in models such as this, because now the mobile home parks are going to allow us to come into them. And a lot of these guys are going to be given to us for free. So we've already been offered mobile homes that are not this bad of condition, but I'm also looking forward to getting some of these for free, or as they say, wink, wink, $1. So we're looking forward to that. This to me, just another way to get into it in an affordable way. And again, it's no different, guys, because we only need permission. Remember, I had a whole coaching last Saturday forget about the price. We need permission. And that's what we need inside of these mobile home parks to be able to do what we do. So again, we do something that's called a shared living environment, whether that's in a mobile home, a 1-bed, 1-bath, or a 7-bed, 5-bath, right? The inside, we're going to make it look like this. And that's the part to us that's not rocket science. So make sure that you guys watch our masterclass webinar. It's scrolling below on your screen right now. Terry family, Miss Camille, a lot of the newer people that came in. Make sure you guys watch that. Paula, make sure you guys watch that webinar. Immediately after that webinar, guys, you're going to probably get a link from my team, and they're going to invite you to a phone call. And that's if you're more so interested in the coaching, right? Or some deeper talking about it. But if it's just questions, I'll admit, I'd rather you guys come Monday, Tuesday, and Saturday to our YouTube channel and ask it, because that way we can all learn together and other people can hear it. So thank you, Paula, and all the people, Camille, Patricia, you guys that put the questions in the chat. That helps a lot of people learn. So we appreciate that. And again, this does not require a license, and you do not have to own the property. And these are called independent living facilities. And this is how we take people from homeless to hopeful. You guys be great. Go to some place of worship tomorrow. Tell God what you saw today and tell him you want to be in it. Because we also believe that God is the master of all of this. Without God, this is impossible. Because I promised God years ago that, God, if you let me quit my job to get into this, I'll go all over the world teaching and I'll take no credit. I simply saw a lady making 41 grand a month doing this model, but doing it the wrong way in rats and roaches. So once I got into it and God allowed me to leave my job, because my prayer for y'all is this: how great is it that if you can make your yearly salary every month? And guys, I was making 28 grand a year. I said, God, can I make that every month? You showed me a lady making 41 grand a month, housing your people in rats and roaches. God, will you let me get in it? And through the trials and the errors, and it took 2 years and I lost 60 pounds trying to get it. But now we got it and we teach it all over the world. Our coaching is in 37 states. So again, make sure you guys text the word scholarship. If you do want the coaching, but you want it at a little bit of a discount, that word scholarship, set up another automation that gives you a call with me to talk about your coaching, where you live at, how do you want it, how fast and when, right? And also how much of a discount can you get that's on our original coaching. And really quickly, before we go, our one-on-one coaching is $7,500. That involves your CRM system, phone system, text messaging capabilities. We build your website, we build your logo, and the one-on-one coaching and all of the paperwork and documents that comes with this. Our documents alone, guys, cost $8,000 just to get built from a lawyer. So the paperwork alone that you get from us is actually more than what I'm charging y'all for the coaching. Okay. The ILF Accelerator is only $3,000, and that's a 6-month version of the ILF Mastery Blueprint. So the ILF Mastery Blueprint, you pretty much stuck with me for life unless you leave us. The Accelerator is a 6-month program, especially for people that already have a property. We recommend that for them. And if for people that maybe don't have a bunch of time or money, but still want it, you guys are going to get the ILF Mastery Do-It-Yourself version. And that one's only $997. And that allows you guys to go at your own pace, and we still build your website. You still get that phone system, the CRM, all of that, right? Documents, and you get coaching of me that's been recorded. So you don't get me as your one-on-one coach, because that's when do it at yourself pace. So those are the 3 coaching plans: $7,500 for the one-on-one, $3,000 for the 6-month, and $997 for the do-it-yourself version. And all 3 of those have the opportunity to be purchased on a scholarship price. So text the word scholarship to 407-326-0086 for a chance to get a super discount on that. Happy New Year, everybody. I gotta go. We'll see you guys Monday at 6 p.m. Eastern. And remember, guys, keep God first, help people, get involved in real estate, be the change in your community, but also make enough money to feed your family. You guys be great, and we'll see you guys next time. If you've ever imagined of starting your own housing program, there is no reason that after we're done here tonight that you shouldn't go to forstonconsultants.com/webinars and watch the webinar, guys, because a lot of you have wanted to start a group home or traditional assisted living facility, but that stuff takes license. It takes a lot of time to open. There's a lot of red tape to jump through. You have to ask for permission. We teach you guys how to open an ILF, an independent living facility, where you can house the homeless, displaced adults, or anybody that has a guaranteed income, and it doesn't require a license, and you don't have to own the property. Make sure you watch that free webinar at forstonconsultants.com/webinars, and then set up a free strategy call so that me and my team can get you started. Let's get back to the show.